to What's Right with the World with your host, Glenn Ambrose.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to What's Right with the World. And I've got my Great Love Project shirt on today.
Nice.
So those of you that are watching the video version of this just saw that. Otherwise, you heard an awkward silence. But I'm going to pitch it over to Ben for our stories. Go for it, Ben.
All right. Thanks, Glenn. So this week we have some fun ones. We talked about a couple weeks ago a Secret Santa in Vermont paying off layaways for an entire store at Walmart for people, and what a great fun thing that was. Well, that's turned into sort of a copycat situation of the best type. There are literally more stories than we can talk about of this. There was an anonymous donor in Pennsylvania, an anonymous donor in Colorado, a Tennessee couple in Clarksville who did that, and then also some celebrities. The owner of the New Orleans Saints, Tyler Perry, Kid Rock, just to name a few. They are just going in and paying off the layaway debt for in Tyler Perry's case, it was $400,000 for 1,500 people.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of it's fun when you see a random act of kindness turn into like a viral thing almost. You know what I mean? Like there's so many people doing it now. It's really nice.
Yeah, that is. And it's, the viral aspect of it, it's, that it feels good. It feels good to do things like that. That's why I think we're seeing it more and more. We're seeing in celebrity, we see celebrity turning to philanthropy and stuff like that more and more nowadays because it works. And I don't mean just it works for the people that are being helped, but it works for the people who are doing it. If you get to a place where you have so much money, that your kids and your kids are taken care of. At some point, as a general rule, at some point it's going to hit that level of, why am I here? Like, what's the meaning of all this? And when you start doing good things for the community with it, all of a sudden it's like, ooh, okay, that felt good, and then more and more people do it. So, and then usually when you see somebody here's a good question. Have you ever seen somebody do something really good on a large scale or a small scale, and then them just go I never want to do that again?
No.
No, because, every time somebody does something good, they feel good about it. They enjoy doing it. They get something, a sense of joy out of it and stuff. And it's so they're sitting there oh, that felt good. I want to do that again, and so people that have done it once or done something once usually do something similar again.
Our second story is at the Nashville International Airport. A bunch of travelers broke into song. They sang the national anthem for the children of fallen service members who were coming home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's just break into song,
Yeah.
This is the thing, it's, you hear about stuff like this and it's the world's changing, man. There are caring people everywhere. It's touching, it's really touching to see this stuff happen. And now that we do this show, especially, But even before we did this show, I saw it. It's, if you keep your eyes open, it's everywhere.
We did a podcast for Life Lessons and Laughter a few years ago, 2015 or 2014 or something, called The Tipping Point.
Yes. Yeah, I just wrote a blog on that recently.
Yeah, and I know that it sometimes is hard to see, because there's a lot of stuff that you can point to, and that's the whole point of the show. There's a lot of stuff that you can point to of what's wrong right now, you know? And you said in that podcast that there's that no big change happens without pullback, you know? So like before everything gets really better, there's going to be hard times too. And I think about that a lot, you know, when you hear all of the negative news that we don't talk about on the show, there's a resistance, but the overall arc you have to look at as, you know, all of this amazing stuff that happens. And that's the important thing. That's why we focus on it. Our third story is just a fun one. A dog that was separated from its family during the wildfires in California returned to the house and waited, and has finally been reunited with the family.
Oh wow!
Which is just a fun feel good story that my roommate texted me before we started today and said, "Oh, are you doing the What's Right with the World today? You talk about this." So yeah,
and it qualifies because, you know, we hear, you know, you hear stories of bad things that happen to animals, and also, like, we hear stories of bad random things that we can't explain. You know, oh well, you know, why did this happen? And a lot of times people will lean on that for like, so, you know, there is no meaning in the world and everything sucks. It's like, come on. But so there's this stuff is the other side of that. It's like, well, why did that happen? You know, that dog didn't have to go home. You know, like it goes both ways. It just depends on what you decide to focus on. Yeah. So yeah, it is. And you know what? I'm going to throw a fourth story in. Okay. I saw this the other day, and I don't know the exact specifics, but there was this woman who was boarding an airplane, and she had two kids, young kids, and she was traveling alone with them, and the kids were throwing a fit, and she was having a tough time. And this mother came up and started helping her with one of them. And then this other mother came up and started on the plane and was holding one of them during the flight and all this stuff. And I forgot the exact specifics of it. But it's like, you know, there's two women that stepped up and helped out this other woman. And I've heard of stuff like that happening, you know, with people helping out somebody traveling with children. I've heard of that before. And I mean, this is something that, you know, how many of us out there have had children in the past? It's a gigantic amount, you know? So, but how many people sit there, you know, in an airport or a plane and thinking like, oh, just shut that kid up, you know, instead these people go over there and they help, you know? And this is, I thought that was just such a beautiful example of you know, the little things that anybody can do that can make a difference.
So what's right with your world this week, Glenn?
What's right with my world this week? I think I'm going to go with my son this week. My son is what's right with the world this week. Yeah, you know, I spent some time with him yesterday afternoon because we had to run some errands together and stuff. And his age, I don't get to do that as often. And we were able to stop and eat and spend a little one-on-one time. And I really enjoyed it. It was nice. And I was speaking with his guidance counselor this morning about, college and what needs to be done. And I think we're heading in the right direction to doing that. And his transition, moving down to Florida to do his senior year of high school down here, and just watching him, it's inspiring. What's right with the world is partially is his generation. It's that. I mean, he's a good example of it, but I see other kids doing it too. He made up his mind that he wanted to move down here to do his senior year of high school in Florida because he wanted to go to college down here, and he wanted to get in-state tuition. And people ask like, "Oh, how's he transitioning down there? How's he doing?" And it's like, it's seamless with that kid. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure he's felt some stuff, but you ask him like, "Oh, so, how's is the new school okay?" He's like, "Well, yeah. Well, are you getting used to it? Has it been difficult?" Like, he looks at you like, "What do you mean? Like, what's your point?" Like I knew I was moving to Florida, and I knew I was going to a new school. So I don't understand the question. Like, of course it's new. Of course it's different. Of course I needed to make some adjustments. Of course it hasn't been easy, but it's been fine. Like, I mean, like, he doesn't get caught up in the stuff that we tend to get caught up in. I'm going to go do this. And of course it's going to be a little awkward. That's part of it. And then he just goes and does it. And, leaning back and watching that, it's really impressive. So that's my what's right with the world on my end. How about you? What's right in your world, Ben?
I don't know, man. This is going to be very simple, but it's making me happy right now. I love Christmas time. I love putting on like just some like acoustic or acoustic guitar or acoustic piano Christmas music while I work, and just we're watching all of our favorite Christmas movies right now, and kind of saving the big ones for the week before. Made a snowman with the little guy. It's fun. I moved into here for today so that I could sit with. Do we see it yet?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
nice tree.
Thanks for. Oh yeah, I just realized other people are just listening to this. Whatever.
Yeah. If it's on video, you just saw his tree. If not, you didn't.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And that's I'm excited about. That's what's right with my world today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Christmas is a biggie. It can bring a lot of joy to a lot of people. So, and it also gives us an opportunity to bring joy to people who struggle this time of year. So,
and to focus on what's right with the world.
Yes. Yeah. Keep our focus there, and it'll be at least either a better holiday or an amazingly joyous holiday. All right. That's it for now. And thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk with you soon.
Glenn is available for life coaching sessions. To book an appointment or for more information, go to glennambrose.com, follow him on Facebook and Twitter, or click the link in the description of this episode.